Let's get our producer Brandon Combs here in the mix. Let's do a little fill in the blank. Combs, what's going on, brother?
How we doing, boys? Fantastic.
How are you doing? Your
afternoon
Cubbies got rocked on opening day. Mizorowski looks like a Cy Young. It's a tough day for you, man.
This is what we're doing? This is what we're doing.
I'm literally just speaking facts. Did I tell a lie?
You bring me in and in 2 seconds into it, after I had your back in the chat earlier, 2 seconds into bringing me in, you've made me want to punch you right in the throat.
Yeah, why don't you fill the folks in on what we were talking about in the chat? Why did you defend me in the chat? Why don't you let them know?
We were talking about the name, the Fighting Irish, and how Notre Dame got their name and why they're the Fighting Irish and why your shirt is lucky and not unlucky. Okay. It's not your fault Team Ireland lost their World Cup match because,
that's right.
They're Ireland and they don't belong in the World Cup anyway. All right.
Wow.
You guys ready to do some fill in the blank? That's what you get for coming at me. That's what you get for coming at me.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming at your own country.
Look, my country's America, brother.
Yes. You know what I meant.
All right. Here we go. Let's fill in the blank, boys. The 2026 Major League Baseball home run leader will be blank.
Schwarbs! Who already hit a bomb today. I think I'm already on record here, right on BetMGM tonight, that Kyle Schwarber will lead Major League Baseball in long balls. A guy, if you look at the Zips projections right now at Fangraphs, got him forecasted for 41 home runs, which would be third in Major League Baseball behind Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. And of course, everybody's going to be on those two guys in this category. But the ISO, the exit velo marks of Kyle Schwarber are outlandish. He plays in a bandbox there at Citizens Bank, so I think he's got to hit at least 50, and I think he's got to set the pace in home runs. Give me Kyle Schwarber, a current Phillies great and forever a Chicago Cub great.
That's right. Look, speaking of bandboxes, I'll go long shot here. I'll go outlandish on paper, but if he played a full season last year, he might have hit 50. How about Nick Kurtz from the A's, playing in that minor league stadium in Sacramento where literally double-digit runs are the norm. He hit 36 bombs last year in 117 games. If he plays 150 games, Nick Kurtz is easily going to hit 50. Maybe he hits 55. So how about Nick Kurtz from the A's to lead baseball in home runs this year? That's my pick.
Oh, that's spicy.
I'm gonna go Vladdy Daddy. I think Vladdy is going to just absolutely go off this year, and I think he's poised for a 55, 60 home run season. I'm gonna go with Vladimir Guerrero to be the home run leader. All right, let's hit the next one. Of last year's playoff teams, which were the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Guardians, the Reds, the Cubs, the Phillies, the Brewers, the Padres, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Tigers, and the Mariners. Of those teams, which is the most likely to miss the playoffs this year?
Oh, it's the Reds in a walk, in my opinion. They got a bottom 5, I would argue, bullpen. They got a bottom 10 overall lineup, and I love Ellie De La Cruz, but they don't have any studs up and down that hitting lineup on a regular basis. The rotation's got some upside, some young arms, got to go out and prove it. But Pacota's got projected for 77.8 wins. I think I said this the other night. We're previewing the NL Central. They're going to be lucky to win 75. So the big red machine is going to get shut down. It's got to be the Reds.
Yeah, from the American League, I think it'll be Cleveland. It'll be the Guardians. Again, they were basically thinking about selling off last year. They didn't trade Stephen Kwan. They end up pulling off the miracle and catching the Detroit Tigers. Then they get bounced by them in the wild card round. Outside of Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez, there ain't a whole lot of pop to go around in that lineup. Manzardo and Bo Naylor, they're nice pay. I like that they added Rhys Hoskins. But man, this rotation for me, it lacks the back half of it. Tanner Bybee is decent. Gavin Williams is decent. Outside of that, I don't trust the rotation. I don't trust the bullpen outside of their closer, Cade Smith. So for me, Cleveland, I think the Tigers are winning the AL Central. I think the Royals could be the wild card team there from that division. I do not think the Guardians are making the playoffs.
I think that the other day when we were doing our picks, I mean, that I didn't pick the Yankees to go to the playoffs. I think that the Yankees are going to miss the playoffs this year. But I think most likely, I think you're right. I think it's the Guardians. You look at this pitching staff, you look at how much they lost in their lineup. Their bullpen is god awful. So, yeah, I think it's the Cleveland Guardians as well. The biggest surprise of the 2026 season will be blank.
That's a good one. I'll stick with a team-related result here. And it's something that Brad and I both, I think, officially agreed on in terms of winning the AL West. The biggest surprise would be the Rangers winning the American League West. Now, I know that day one, let's see, they ended up losing today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 5-3.
Yeah, so they lost 5-3. Evaldi didn't pitch well, but they ran into Christopher Sanchez. They did put up 3 runs in the ninth. That Phillies bullpen going to be suspect again. But I think the Rangers win the AL West, whereas most people think it'll be the Mariners with Big Dumper and that most of that whole team with that great pitching staff coming back from last year. But again, if the Rangers stay healthy, I think they're one of the best teams in baseball. So that'll be the biggest surprise to me. The Rangers win the American League West.
Yeah, that's a good call there. I would certainly have debated that one, to say the least. Let's stay in the West. Let's go to the National League. Obviously, the Dodgers going to win the NL West, but who's going to be the second best team? I think it's going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks. The slithering snakes are going to, show their fangs, and they're going to sink their teeth in to the Giants and the Padres. A lot of people on the Pods, a lot of people on the Giants, they think they're the second best team in that division. But Arizona, they got some bats. I think they have a borderline top 10 starting lineup. The pitching staff may be a little bit suspect, but, Zach Gallen, Bob Nightingale, we had him on earlier in the show, feels he's a dark horse candidate to win the National League Cy Young. If that is the case and the bullpen overachieves, it might be subpar, but if they do overachieve, the Diamondbacks will be the second best team, which I think would shock some people in the NL West.
Tarek Skubal is going to be a Cub by the deadline. This
year's that's
World Series winner will be blank.
I hate to take chalk, but I have to. It's the Dodgers. If they stay healthy with that rotation, with that pen, with that starting lineup, but nothing but stars, and more stars, who the hell is going to beat them? It's got to be the Dodgers.
The Yankees, the chase for 28 will be concluded come November. The New York Yankees are winning World Series number 28. Once Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon come back, this rotation is going to be the best in all of baseball. And Cam Schlittler is going to be a bona fide household name. Judge is going to win another MVP, and the rest will be history.
Yeah, look, I think Schlittler without the L is the way to pronounce that name. I don't think he's going to be that great. I don't think the Yankees even make the playoffs. I think that the Philadelphia Phillies are going to win the World Series over the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh.